Hello, I'm the Dark Master, and welcome back to my LEGO reviews. This time we'll be reviewing set number 71701. Kai's Fire Dragon. It comes with 81 pieces in 2 bags and 2 minifigures. Let's as always start with the minifigures. First we have Legacy Kai, perhaps the minifigure I've reviewed the most times. So let's keep this brief. He has a new Legacy hood wrap in red and dark red. He has 2 faces, one angered, the other a confident smile. Both have that little bandage. The torso print is great with the golden dragon, as is his back torso print. His leg print is also pretty good. It's a good minifigure, but not really anything new. For weaponry, he wields a golden katana, as well as a dragon blade, but we'll get to that in a minute. In contrast, the Garmadon figure is quite unique. We are used to seeing this guy with 4 arms, but not many people know this, but he originally was just a regular old minifigure in the first wave. He does kind of look weak without the double torso, and it was quite an interesting change when they did give him that second torso, but he's still pretty dangerous. There are some changes between the original minifigure and this new one, so let's go over those. Starting with the head, he wears the new style of samurai helmet, which is a lot less bulky compared to the old one, which was a knight's piece. I actually like the original more, but it does make sense that they wouldn't use it as it's been pretty much retired. And the new one does have some more customization features, such as the ability to add on a face guard, as well as more unique crests. I will say, however, I do wish it was dark gray and not black, because it does tend to blend into his body and look more like hair. It also has a white bone in the clip, which was in the original minifigure. Overall, it's a shame that the old helmet was retired, but it was replaced with a suitable replacement. Beneath that, we get the new Garmadon face. It's more detailed, and I think it's a really well done face. But is it just me, or the old face was more sinister? I think it's the eyes. The old face had these hollow eyes that had a very evident black dot in them, but that's not here. I will say, otherwise, the face is perfectly amazing. The mouth, the wrinkles. Also, the torso print is a significant upgrade, with the back print being far more detailed than the old one. The leg print is even more of an upgrade, with an extension of the purple belt that wasn't there in the original, which was just blank black legs. Overall, a great villain. In terms of weaponry, he wields a brown walking staff. Nothing really all that special, but it does help tie him to Master Wu, who he's brothers with. Did you know that the reason his skin is so black is because he was literally struck by lightning and his flesh was removed? It's actually kind of creepy when you think about it, but let's go over the build and pieces now. In terms of pieces, nothing really sticks out all that much. There are these dragon pieces, but we'll cover them in a bit. There is this amazing printed circular plate. It's a really good Eastern dragon print in red and gold. The dragon fire sword is also great to see. Perhaps the last of the golden weapons, still in common use. And it's good that it hasn't been discontinued because design-wise, it's one of the better Ninjago weapons. You also have these sort of flame pieces. There's not really anything remarkable about them, but they're there for play value, I guess. As for the build themselves, there are two. First is this small weapon shrine for the Dragon Sword of Fire. Despite being only made of 18 parts and being a very simple construction, it does possess a certain oriental flair that just is very impactful. I really think it's mostly the roof with the angled slope pieces, as well as that little gate piece that's behind the flame sword. I will say that the torches do look a bit weird, but that's probably due to piece limitations. Now, let's go over why you really came. The main draw of the set, Kai's Fire Dragon. This is perhaps the most controversial dragon in Ninjago, at least for the year it was released. Some say it looks like the Fire Chicken, others say it looks like he skipped Arm Day, still others say it looks like a Jurassic Park reject. However, I have to say, I have to disagree. Firstly, remember this is for younger kids, like even younger than the average. And so the build had to be kept relatively simple for them. Secondly, there are redeemable aspects to this dragon. Firstly, the head is amazing. I know that the brick built heads are more preferred by some LEGO purists. However, I think these plastic heads are a nice compromise between the rubber heads for the first 3 years in Ninjago and the newer brick built ones. The fact that they are smaller might be why I don't mind them as much. Also, the print is very detailed, but not in a way that makes it inherently a fire dragon. It could very easily be a generic dragon head. The inside of the mouth has two studs and uses this brick piece so that a flame can be attached to showcase his flame breath. I really do think, however, it could have been a clip, perhaps to make it a little more sleek. I know they did something like that for the Golden Dragon, though then again, it wasn't really a clip, it was more of a stud shooter, but the point still stands. I think this brick didn't need to be used. The legs, while they do lack articulation due to them being raptor feet, they are actually pretty interesting, and the recolor will be used for mockists. And the only issue I have with them is not the fact that they are non-articulatable, which, yeah, that is a flaw. But the biggest issue for me is that it makes the dragon front heavy. Like, he always wants to fall forwards. But I think that might be more of a fault with the tail, which we'll get to in a bit. Overall, when it comes to the legs, yes, the fact that they lack articulation is a weakness. And yes, the head is a bit flawed. They are very solid parts of this build. There are far weaker parts, trust me. The wings, for example, they are extremely simple with these Keto orange pieces for feathers, as well as these triangle glider pieces. This really is just such a forgettable wing design, and plus they also make the dragon very front heavy. On the back there is this seat for Kai to sit on, and luckily he covers up the black so it doesn't stick out as much. The tail, as I said before, is extremely basic and I think really need to be one or more segments longer. Not only would that give him more articulation, it would also aid with the front heaviness of the set. Also, even as dumb as this dragon looks, Garmadon is still no match for it. I mean, it's very clear who's going to lose here. Overall, while this is admittedly a smaller, simple set, I highly recommend it if you want to get something for your younger relative or friend. For older people, you might not be interested, as really only Garmadon and that printed file are really all that wanted. I mean, Kai is nice, but you can find him in so many other sets, even cheaper ones. And just in general, there are quite a lot in the set that's flawed. The dragon, for example. The shrine's forgettable and whatever, it does its purpose, but the dragon is pretty weak. Buy this if you want. I'm the Dark Master, and subscribe for more LEGO reviews if you want to see them.